it'll be over $2,000 a month. A month! Single fucking American crushing the fuck out at this point! Fuck! I'm so exhausted of pretending to be okay.
And now that I'm looking, I'm like, oh, this is what they talking about. I'm looking at 1-bedrooms for $2,000, $2,100.
Here are 5 reasons that might be happening, and you may not even realize it.
Hello family, welcome to BabsWTV, where we talk about real life, real struggle, and what's happening around the world. Millions of Americans are quietly giving up, not because they are lazy, but because no matter how hard they work, the system keep pushing them further behind. Rising rent, constantly financial pressure are breaking people, and it's getting worse. And if you are one of those people, you're not alone. Make sure you subscribe, comment, and like. Let's watch this clip.
You know, I truly don't think that we are ready to have the conversation of every single fucking American crushing the fuck out at this point. Fuck! Rent, power, Wi-Fi, cell phone, insurance, gas, groceries. I don't give a fuck. Goddamn, I'm tired of being told you can figure it out. I'm tired of trying to figure it out. Every goddamn day is the fucking same. Gas is going up, groceries is going up, but yet the fucking higher-ups are living fucking life. Dude, I'm about to fucking crash I am crashing the fuck out!
You alright? Rick. I said, are you alright?
I'm fine.
Hey, talk to me. Whatever you say to me in confidence is between us. You know that, right?
I don't have anything to tell you.
They done gave your ass a million reasons to overthrow this country. The gas high, Jim Carrey, McDonald's, Iran, my knees hurt, it's raining. What are we doing, y'all?
I ain't gonna lie, I'm going through a lot of shit right now. Going through a lot of shit.
I am literally on the cusp of really just giving the fuck up. I'm so exhausted of pretending to be okay, and then people still demanding me to be more, to be bigger, to be better for their own personal enjoyment, but not for my own mental fucking health. I find it very exhausting as a woman, as a black woman, as a queer black woman, to have to be everything for everybody. Women want me to be their best friend and confidant and their advice giver and leech all of my energy to bring them joy. Men want me to give them seduction. They want me to smile. They want me to only give the right answers and allow them to be in charge. Society wants me to shut up, go to work, be quiet, do as I'm told. My family wants me to be a support system, consistently giving all of myself as if I haven't become a completely new person since I've been an adult. My boss needs me to be attentive, detail-oriented, focused, as if the world around me isn't completely crumbling into shit and I don't have enough money to pay my goddamn bills or clean water to drink in some areas of America, and then we still have to just smile and pretend like everything's okay. I just have to give too much. It's too fucking much. And I'm really tired. I have this constant need for escapism because I'm trying to bleed out of the skin of capitalist, individualist society, but I am sucked back in because I'm forced to. And I'm really about to quit on y'all and leave this fucking place. I want to leave. I want to leave America. I want to leave corporate world. I want to leave the idea of how I should be a woman. I just want to be. I just want to be without any transcriptions of how I should be. Can I do that? Without any stipulations of anyone getting pissed about what I can and cannot do? That's what I want to do. And I'm about to do that shit, and I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks.
You know what I think it is? America doesn't understand exactly the height of where our mental health is. I'm ready to check the fuck out, but I keep going for my kids. And I am not the only person in America who feels like this. Do you know how high the unaliving rate has gone? America makes you hopeless now. You are hopeless. The American taxpayer, the working class, we are hopeless. I don't see a point in getting up and working. For what? I was just talking to my coworker, my program coordinator. She's like, we have to pick between car insurance and rent. Most of the time we're paying car insurance. People cannot afford to live. Nobody should have to pick between needs, things that are required, and basic living essentials like food. What the fuck? We have to eat from the dollar store entrees every single day? What, this is America now? What is the point, Donald Trump, of us going to work? Tell the American people what the point of the working class is to go to work when mothers don't even want to live anymore. Because they can't do shit for their kids. We can't even afford gas. My kids will go nowhere this summer. Because I can't afford $5 a gallon if I have my car because it doesn't get repossessed because I can't afford to pay rent and a car payment. What the fuck?
Have you ever felt like just giving up on life? Not in a dramatic way, just quietly stop trying. If that's you, here are 5 reasons that might be happening, and you may not even realize it. Number 1, you're exhausted, not just physically, but emotionally. When you've been carrying stress, disappointment, or pain for too long, your brain doesn't say keep going, it says shut it down. Giving up can actually be your nervous system trying to protect you. 2, you've lost a sense of control. When life feels unpredictable, relationships, work, money, you can start to believe nothing I do actually matters. And when effort feels pointless, motivation disappears. 3, you're stuck in comparison. You look around and think everyone else is ahead, happier, and more successful. And slowly that voice creeps in. What's the point for me? Comparison doesn't motivate, it drains. 4, you've been hurt and never processed it. Old wounds don't just disappear. They sit underneath the surface and shape how you see everything. After a while, life stops feeling safe or worth investing in. And 5, you don't see a future that feels meaningful. It's not that you don't want to live, it's that you don't want to see a life that feels worth showing up for. And that's a very different kind of pain. But here's the truth. Giving up is not who you are, it's a signal. A signal that something in your life needs attention, healing, or change. If any of this hit home, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not stuck this way. What's one of these that you can relate to the most? Drop it in the comments.
God, I'm just going to be real with you. I'm tired of holding it together when it feels like everything around me keeps falling apart. I know I'm not supposed to give up. I know quitting isn't the answer, but right now, walking away just feels so much easier than standing here fighting. You know what I'm carrying, the pressure, the doubts, the stuff I don't say out loud, the weight nobody else sees. Some days it feels like I'm breaking in places I can't afford to break. So I'm asking, give me strength that I don't have on my own. Remind me why I started. Remind me who I'm doing this for. Because quitting would be easy, but staying in it takes faith. Staying in it takes heart. And even if I don't feel it right now, I know I've still got both. So even now, give me what I need for today. Not next week, not next year, just today, Lord. Just enough to take the next step. Even when my body's worn down, my spirit's not broken. Thank you for not giving up on me, especially when I feel like giving up on myself. I might be bent, I might be tired, but I'm not done. Amen. These are real prayers for real life situations. And oftentimes I sit here and I'm just like, man, I really feel like quitting because this is a lot. This is a lot. But I know who my Father is. And I know with Him, all things are possible. So just keep going. Because God's got you. He does. Just ask Him for His strength.
Yo, the cost of living is ridiculous. So, my lease is about to end, and, I'm apartment hunting, just looking around. And I haven't been apartment hunting in so long because I've been in my current place for about 2 years. And now that I'm looking, I'm like, oh, this is what they talking about. I'm looking at 1 bedrooms for $2,000, $2,100, 2 bedrooms, $2,300. I would never pay that for an apartment. I will never. And I know a lot of people keep saying, just get a house, get a house. It's not that simple, buddy. When you have a house, your base mortgage could be $1,600, but all the other stuff you got to pay on top of that, you're paying a lot more than that. I know people paying $2,600 for mortgage, $2,700 for a mortgage. No, I'm not doing that right now. And then you understand property taxes, HOA fees, all that stuff that adds up. Having a house is not cheap. It's very expensive, and you need to be financially well off to have a house. And most people are not financially well off, and they have houses and they're house poor. I don't want to be that person. Baby steps. Now, I'm thinking to myself, there's no way I'm paying that much for an apartment. But at this point, I have no choice. I had set up an apartment tour, and God be speaking to me. I set up an apartment tour. I knew something was off because the prices were a little down there. This morning, that same apartment complex I set up a tour for, they said someone got shot and killed this morning. Tour canceled. And my prayers go out to whoever the victim was. But yes, tour is canceled. I'm not about to go get an apartment someone just actively got killed at. So next option. At this point, it's looking like I might have to pay $2,100 for an apartment. I seen these one apartments. They were beautiful, gorgeous, in a good area. $2,200 for a 2-bedroom. I think not. I don't know what I'm going to do at this point. I have absolutely no clue what I'm going to do. I don't want to move to the hood. I don't want rats and roaches. I don't want shootouts, and I don't want my car getting broken into. I don't want to live in a nice area, but I'm damn near broke every paycheck paying for rent. I don't know what to do. I really don't. I don't want to stay in my current apartments because now people are starting to catch on to how low the price is, and now it's starting to become ghetto. So I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. I have no idea. And this whole hustle, I'm not with the hustle culture. Life is too short for that. I don't feel like hustling. People talk about you sleep when you die. I don't got time for that. I want to live a good life here. I want it to be peaceful. I want it to be stress-free. Yeah, I want life to be stress-free. I don't got time to be grinding to the point where I can't enjoy life. I don't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? People, you retired at 67. No, I don't got time for that. I'm 35. I'm tired of the grinding. I'm not trying to live a difficult life. I'm trying to live a easy life. I don't care what none of y'all say. All that hustle bustle, all this stuff, American culture, y'all got it. I'm tired. I'm tired of doing that. I don't want to just work. No, I'm looking for a way out. I'm looking for something different. I might have to just move out of this country at this point, but yeah, I'm done.
I'm really just fed the fuck up. Like, I was thinking of taking my son out of preschool because of how damn expensive it is. Like, I just found out my daughter is in kindergarten, but she needs summer care, right? So I was going to send her to my son's preschool. It'll be over $2,000 a month to send them both to fucking daycare so I can work. $2,000 a month. That's more than my rent. My rent is $1,500 a month, though. My car payment is $600 a month. My insurance is $200. It's fucking, and I don't even have health care. I don't even have fucking health care. My kids are on fucking CHIP. I like, what the fuck do they want us to do? I'm so fed up. I'm so, like that guy that burned the warehouse down. All you have to do is pay us a livable wage. All you have to do is make life affordable. It was $75 to fill up my Toyota RAV4. What the fuck is that shit? What the fuck is that shit, bro? And I work and I work and I work and I work and I work. I work 6 fucking days a week. I work and I work and I work and I fucking work. And I still have nothing to fucking show for it. Nothing. We can barely fucking wipe our asses because nobody can fucking afford shit. It's fucking crazy, dude. It's crazy. Something has to fucking change. I'm so tired of these fucking wieners, these fucking weird ass fucking wieners, and their fucking billion-dollar companies and their weird fucking baby eating fucking AI fucking weirdos destroying the world for everybody else. It's literally like 25, 30 fucking people versus the whole fucking world. And we're just taking it and taking it and taking it and taking it. It's fucking bullshit. It's genuinely embarrassing. It's embarrassing how much the American people took and took and took and took and are still taking it. Like,
and for those that sit there and say, you guys are lazy, you need to work harder. Let me tell you right now, bro. We are able to see through the matrix and see that this world literally is modern day slavery. Alright? They dangle the carrot in front of you and they tell you to work harder, run faster, let's go, you need to make this money. Or to then get a check where majority of the check is taken away from a government that don't care about you, right? And then you like, damn, like I just put in that many hours of my life that I can't get back for this amount of money. And I'm gonna keep speaking the truth, bro. I honestly don't care how people feel, because at the end of the day, you cannot keep lying to yourself. You have to be honest, bro. You gotta be honest, bro. America is slowly getting cooked, and it's only gonna get worse, bro. It ain't gonna get better. It's only gonna get worse.
All right, so look, people are quietly giving up right now and nobody's really talking about it. Well, not really. Sure, everybody's talking about how bad things are, the rent, the bills, the jobs, the stress, but nobody's really talking about what's going on the inside. We're living in an epidemic of loneliness, and that was not by accident. It was by design. This society raised us inside of a narcissistic system that trained us to be hyper-individualistic. It told us that standing alone was strength, that love was weakness, that asking for help meant failure. We were programmed to compete instead of connect, to win instead of heal, to stand out instead of stand together. And over time, it worked. We became a nation of people that don't know how to ask for help, who don't know how to trust, who don't even know how to need each other anymore. Before everything started collapsing, we were already disconnected. Everybody chasing success. Everybody just trying to make it. Everybody just trying to get rich or die trying. We stepped over each other. We used each other, pretended not to see each other. And now, as the world falls apart, we are still stuck in that same mindset, trying to survive alone. There are mothers right now staring at their empty refrigerators, trying to figure out how they are going to feed their children and keep the lights on at the same time. They're skipping meals so the kids can eat, working long hours, hiding their tears because they can't afford to fall apart. They're exhausted, but they keep going because that's what mothers do. And there are fathers, men who were taught that their worth begins and ends with their ability to provide. Men are out here working impossible hours, doing everything that they said was the right thing to do, and still coming up short. Still failing to provide, still feeling like a failure in their own house. And the men are starting to break down quietly, hurting in silence because this world never gave them permission to feel. And both of them, the mothers and the fathers, are carrying more weight than any one person should have to carry alone. Both are fighting invisible battles just to keep a resemblance of normal alive. And the young people see through it. They see how this world feeds on lies, how it glorifies exhaustion and calls it ambition. And they're checking out early. They're numb, disconnected. because they can already see the truth that this system has no future for them. And then the elders, the ones who gave everything to this machine, they are tired too, watching everything that they built crumble. The pensions, gone. The savings, gone. Health, and the health is not far behind. That's fading too. And for what? So when I say people are quietly giving up, literally, there are parents giving up. There are children giving up. There are elders giving up. There are people who feel trapped right now, who feel unseen, who feel like there's no way out. And that's what this system has done. It has stripped the people of connection, of purpose, of meaning. And the only way to make it out is through each other. Not the governments, not corporations, not religions, but each other. Through community, through love, through somebody deciding to still give a fuck. Because sometimes that's all it takes. Just one person deciding to care again. You see, we were trained to think individualistically. The me over the we. The self above all else. And ironically, that's the one thing that we can use to heal this situation. Because when you look at this through an esoteric lens, it's not all wrong. It's just inverted. At a lower vibration, that mindset becomes narcissism. It becomes selfishness. But when you raise the vibration, you start to see it differently. You start to see that everything is I. Everything you see, everything you touch, everything you love or hate is I. It's the same source consciousness playing all the roles and all the parts. And that's how we flip it. That's how we alchemize this sickness. We take that self-centeredness that they programmed into us and turn it into a divine awareness. We stop thinking, I have to sacrifice to help others, and start realizing there is no other. There's only I and I. So when you help somebody else, you're helping yourself. When you feed another person, you are feeding the same life force that is living within you. When you love another being, you are essentially loving another version of yourself. And that's how we heal. That's how we end this epidemic of loneliness. Not by escaping it, but remembering that there's no such thing as being alone. You see, this is unaliving prevention through remembrance, through truth, through knowledge of self. Because the real sickness isn't just the depression, it's the disconnection. And the real cure isn't medication or therapy. It's reconnection with each other, with nature, with the source. People are quietly giving up right now, and nobody's really talking about it. But maybe it's time that we should. Thanks for watching, y'all. One love. Peace.
Americans are giving up because we have no incentive to keep going. There's no jobs. There's no jobs. There's a shit ton of student debt. The depreciation of our degrees happened like that. Nobody can anticipate what the job market's going to look like. Nobody can anticipate what civilization is going to look like with the boom of AI, with the collapse of the climate, with the economic collapse, with the dismantling of human rights and civil rights that were already under attack. There's just no way to plan and predict your future. Nobody knows whether, nobody can buy a house. Nobody knows whether they have the security to start a family. Nobody knows where is safe. Nobody knows how to establish their goals and how to enact any action upon those goals. People don't know if to leave. People don't know how to leave. People don't know where is safe to go. There is so much upheaval. This is the death of an empire, and this is the death of all of the ways we were taught to imagine our lives unfolding. So that is a very terrifying thing, and I think people are going to respond, obviously, in an array of ways, but the ones that I'm really seeing are complete denial while looking right at it. And I mean that to say that people are registering the disruption, and these are for people who haven't had their day-to-day fully dismantled yet because of this. But I've seen this like in people who are pretty like decently well off, but still like, you know, everyone is vulnerable to what is happening. But to the you know, kind of lower, like to lesser vulnerable people, they're kind of just tuning it out because it's too much, it's overwhelming, and they're going on as though these systems are still going to be going on. They're still putting money into their retirement savings. They're still trying to figure out if they can invest in a house. They're still tracking when they, are going to get married and have their babies and all that, people are wanting to fight to carry on as business as usual to maintain the facade of normalcy, which again, normalcy is rooted in corruption. So it isn't doing anything to quote unquote keep the peace or stay safe. In fact, I think that's deepening the violence, because the corrosion that we're seeing right now in society at large is because of these systems having been set up to fail. And we're seeing that because people go without consequences. That's what I mean by corruption, exploitation. There are not consequences for horrendous deeds, and we are not meant to be witnessing, a G-side every day. Nobody can take that, and we're not even just witnessing one, we're witnessing multiple. And people can't handle that. Our minds aren't, a lot of our minds don't have the elasticity to fit that all in there. And then and especially in America and the Western world, people aren't feeling their feelings. People don't know how to feel their feelings. People don't know how to make room to process their emotions. People can rationalize their emotions. People can suppress their emotions. People get trapped in the cyclical people get trapped in the denial of their feelings, all of these things, because it hurts to feel your feelings. Sometimes it hurts to feel these feelings especially, but the only way out is through. And that doesn't mean the pain goes away, but that means you can turn the pain into something else. You can work with the pain will mobilize you. But if it immobilizes you and you don't persist through the feeling and move through the feeling of it, you're going to be immobilized. And I'm not saying like this is like a switch, like this is a practice. This is a practice that we all have to keep doing, that I'm constantly doing. How do I feel my feelings without completely losing my sanity to them, And I'm not saying that I know how to do that. I'm just saying that we have to practice. So yeah, Americans are giving up because giving up is what is instinctive, and it's quite rational to do so. And I think, we don't have, again, the foundation for community support, for mutual aid. That isn't built in systemically, and we're seeing that within our generation. Generation Z is very much, into destigmatizing mental illness, very vocal about mental health, very vocal about queerness, very vocal about human rights. All of this, people, I think a lot of it stems to, as well, confrontations with mortality, because white supremacy is the fear of death. And I can make a whole video on that as well. But anything that enforces hierarchy, enforces subjugation and control, is to assert control over nature, which you can't do, because we are humbled as human beings by the natural world. We do not reign it. We do not rule it. We can help it, but instead we're actively destroying it. It makes no fucking sense. Okay, I'm getting deterred here, but all that to say, yeah, Americans are not okay because Americans should not be okay. None of this is okay. And Americans are disturbed because Americans should be disturbed. This is all very disturbing. So yeah, I'm not saying to just like wallow, weep, or whatever, but I'm also saying to feel your feelings, and maybe that's what that's going to look like for you for a while. I don't know, but we all have to get to the other side of it. We can't stay in the stagnant, idle, apathetic, weird kind of automatic going through life, playing a part in a in a play that isn't going on anymore. That storyline, it just doesn't exist anymore. There's no audience in that room. You're going to keep going and you're performing for an empty room. Hopefully that makes sense within the context of what I'm talking about. We are living lives and preparing for lives that are built within worlds that do not exist anymore. So how do we recalibrate from that? Step 1, acknowledge it. So that's what this is. And I think step 2, broaden your imagination. And that does not mean, and that means gather information. That means expand your consciousness, your capacity to feel, to connect, to be actionable and involved. And that also means imagining beyond these limited systems, imagining beyond, all of these kind of archaic ways of being that are extremely unnatural and destructive. Imagine beyond that. Know that's possible. And then I think step 3 is a unified action. So let that begin with individual action. Find ways to be in unity with other people. And throughout this, you need to mend your mind. You need to be taking care of yourself. You need to know that there is another side to this all-consuming grief. And it is all-consuming grief in action. That's what it is. And that's what love looks like, by the way. That's what it means to love. So Americans are giving up. I don't need y'all to give up. I need y'all to give in. Give the fuck in to that feeling, to that pain, and fight.
In a previous video, I talked about the American dream, and a lot of people had comments to say about different things, but I probably was wrong. I guess I figured out what the new American dream is. The new American dream is to leave America. There are more people integrating, leaving America than ever before. Now, why? I don't know. So I got to ask you, would you stay in America, and what's keeping you here? There's people, they said that people are leaving America in droves, giving up their citizenship, even though they have to pay money to do it. They are leaving America. They went on to say because of, it's cheaper to live elsewhere. Cheaper to live in Mexico, Costa Rica, wherever, Panama, Portugal. Cost of living is very expensive. Healthcare is very expensive. Education expensive, rent's expensive. Let's say for y'all in America, everything's expensive. And the people are tired, sick and tired. They want a lower cost of living. They want to be able to live, not just exist. They want something else. And we're not even going to talk about the politics. That's a whole nother issue of what the government's doing or what they're not doing, or what kind of situation it's being caused. So the people are picking up their family and they are moving. Some are, again, I mentioned Costa Rica, I mentioned Portugal, I mentioned Panama, I mentioned Mexico. I had people who moved to some of the other ones like Singapore or Thailand. Thailand is a big one too. A lot of people move to Thailand. Thailand is nice and cheap. So I guess the question is, would you stay here? And if you were going to integrate, because again, some of us say if we were younger, we were bam, gone. So tell me what's your thought about all these people leaving America, integrating, going to different places, and to have a better life, a better living. I mean, we're not even talking about health care. I mean, education, free education, and some. When you look at some of the things these countries have, and that they are welcoming expats, they are telling you, come on over, and come live here. Bring your American dollars, bring your retirement. You can work from home. You can, now we can work from home. We can work anywhere with the internet. We can go anywhere. So I was just surprised of how many people, they said this is the first time in history, since I think the 1920s, that there are more people leaving. We're not talking about the people ICE is getting rid of. We're talking about Americans who are willfully picking up their suitcases, education, picking up their kids and marching. They are leaving America. The first time in history, so many people are now leaving pick it up and go, so what's your opinion of that? You know, I like to ask questions because I have friends for real. Some of them have left America, and some of us are talking about it. What's your opinion? And you know, I like to ask questions.